A delegation of all government employees met the Chief Minister on their following demands. A. Sanction of interim relief for all categories of employees. B. Release of increase of dearness allowance installments from January 1992. C. Concession in purchase of bus pass for students and all government servants. D. Implementation of revised pay scales as per the Pay Revision Commission from June 1991. Draft proceedings of the meeting covering all points. Fire accidents are increasing in summer months, particularly in Vijayawada. In spite of emergency telephone call, the fire brigade is quite unable to reach the spot in time to extinguish fire and to prevent further loss and damage to lives and properties. Since the fire station is located at a far off place, as such, its very purpose is being defeated. As a local public representative, write a letter to the collector suggesting to shift the fire station to a centrally located place immediately. Number of schools and colleges are increasing in all district headquarters, resulting proportionate growth in population also. But there is no improvements to the existing libraries for want of funds. Periodicals, newspapers, and other journals were not being purchased regularly. Every library requires adequate staff and furniture. As a responsible citizen, on behalf of the public, address the Education Minister through an appeal for sanctioning more funds and to upgrade the libraries, keeping in view the benefits of good libraries to the public and students particularly. Due to less number of buses in Twin Cities, there is very heavy rush of passengers daily and some section of students create much inconvenience to the public by standing on footboards obstructing the entrance and exit resulting accidents and increase in chain snatching and pickpocketing cases. Draft an appeal requesting the public, the police, and the students' community to extend their full cooperation helping the crew of Andhra Pradesh State Road Transport Corporation for ensuring safety of passengers and punctuality in plying the city buses. Draft a tender notice from the Chief Engineer Roads and Buildings Hyderabad for constructing of a government guest house block including a mini shopping complex along with the staff quarters. Approximate cost of work is rupees 50 lakhs. Work should be completed within 2 years from the date of accepting tenders. Class A contractors need only apply. Cost of tender form and documents is rupees 250 only and available for sale from 9th to 15th July 1992 in the office through cash payment only. Last date for receiving tenders is 31st July at 3 pm and will be opened at 4:30 pm of the office clock on the same day. Postal delays will not be taken into consideration under any circumstances. Mention all other legal formalities with the terms and conditions of the notification. It is indeed a pleasure to lay the foundation stone for a new auditorium on this auspicious occasion of the silver jubilee of this institution. Foundation stone laying has become much easier now because all one does is to press the button. One does not even have to expend the energy of going and doing something to the stone. There is no doubt that medical science has made tremendous progress in our times in the last 25 years, especially, and we in India have profited from this advance. In India, our medical institutions are making good progress. We are turning out doctors and nurses who can hold their own with any other doctors and nurses anywhere in the world, however advanced the country may be. This an advantage in some ways and it is a disadvantage in other ways because it means that some of our top people are attracted to other countries If they go out only for a short period to help developing countries and send back foreign exchange to India, well, it is a good thing. But if they go and settle down in the Western countries, which have no dearth of their own people, then it is a disadvantage for us because their services are badly needed by millions of people in India. The other problem is that the more advanced and sophisticated medicine becomes, the more people are drawn towards the more complicated specializations, and they tend to look down on general medicine or the common ailments from which the poorer people, larger number of people suffer. What we need is a balance. Just as an industry, we do realize the necessity of heavy industry, but at the same time, we know that in the circumstances of our country, we must have medium and small scale industry, village industry, and home crafts. Similarly, in medicine, we must have the latest, the most sophisticated, but it should not be at the cost of taking medicine to the villages and the rural areas of India and to the remotest corners of our country. We have a peculiar situation. More and more people are entering the medical profession, and yet quite a large number, in fact, I am told about 80% of them are treating only 20% of the population of India, and the vast majority of our people are still deprived of proper medical attention. Now, this is the base which makes the health of the country. To prolong the life of a few people is a worthwhile task, but the lives of these people in rural areas are also threatened more if there is no base of health and physical fitness in the country as a whole. Therefore, the medical profession must think on much more broad based lines, not only to search for new medicines, to acquire the knowledge found in other countries, to try and to research in what was existing in our own country from ancient times and not so ancient time, but at the same time to see how this knowledge, whether it is old or new, can be made of use to the country as a whole. Our primary task today is to improve the standards of living of our people, and that must begin at the very bottom. It must begin with a spirit of service, with the awareness that cleanliness is that base of the prevention of disease or of any type of better life. Personal cleanliness in food and habits, cleanliness of our roads, of our railways, etc.